Have taken the extraordinary step to arrest a judge for allegedly obstructing an immigration arrest. Let's get right to NBC's Gary Grumbach, who has been trying to work on getting this reporting for us. What do we know?
So what we know right now is that over the past several days and weeks, we've seen videos of people being arrested at courthouses by Department of Homeland Security officials when they show up for hearings to adjudicate their immigration status. And that is something we've seen over and over again over the past several weeks. Now, veteran circuit court judge up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, her name is Hannah Dugan. She's now being accused of trying to help out an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest. And I want to read to you FBI Director Kash Patel's tweet. He says in part, quote, "Just now, the FBI arrested Judge Hannah Dugan out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin on charges of obstruction after evidence of Judge Dugan obstructing an immigration arrest operation last week." He says, going on, saying, "We believe Judge Dugan intentionally misdirected federal agents away from the subject to be arrested in her courthouse at Eduardo Flores Ruiz, allowing the subject, who they call an illegal alien, to evade arrest." Now, they say that this individual was eventually arrested by DHS officials. This is something that is just developing, Anna, and we have not yet seen any court documents in this case, but we are awaiting further news on this topic. Anna?
Again, I know how fresh this is, Gary, but do we know how unusual is a situation like this for feds to arrest a judge?
WSAU reporting this morning that Dugan, the judge, allegedly allowed this illegal migrant to hide in her jury room to evade arrest. This coming after another judge, a second judge, really the first judge, a former New Mexico judge, was arrested yesterday for, get this, hiding an alleged Tren de Aragua gang member inside his house. Magistrate Judge Joel Cano and his wife both arrested yesterday. Kash Patel even releasing the footage of the FBI raiding Cano's home, arresting and frog marching him out in cuffs. AG Pam Bondi updating the public this morning on what this judge did, on what he was doing, harboring a Tren de Aragua gang member. You can't make this up. Watch.
I mean, when you look at the associations with this violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua, and this person that they harbored in their home, he was showing signs through clothing, we were told, tattoos. There was evidence through voice messages and text messages of his association to TDA. So what charges will Cano and his wife face, if any?
So Judge Cano, soon to be former Judge Cano, got his charges were just unsealed. He's charged with obstruction. He admitted post Miranda. He took one of the TDA members' cell phones himself, took it, beat it with a hammer, destroyed it, and then walked the pieces to a city dumpster to dispose of it to protect him. The wife also is charged with destroying evidence. Sandra, not only that, this TDA member, and he had on a necklace that said kill, something about death. He had tattoos all over him. He also had on his cell phone pictures of two decapitated victims, decapitated, gruesome photos, and he was sending them out, and whoever he was sending them to was sending back saying, hey, you need to be careful, you shouldn't be sending these, you shouldn't be texting these photos out. Not only that, these two, the judge and his wife, gave him assault rifles that belonged to their daughter. That's what they're charged with. In the criminal report affidavit, he goes to a shooting range with these assault rifles, with a suppressor, with other known TDA members, and they're shooting. This is the last person that we want in our country, nor will we ever tolerate a judge or anyone else harboring them.
This is now 2 corrupt judges down in just the last 48 hours. Something MAGA had been demanding, accountability. This morning, Judge Dugan seen here racing off after being arrested, seen racing to her car after posting bail for these multiple felony charges. And the reason Dem judges are fighting so hard to keep illegals in this country, apparently even the criminal ones, is because of political control, folks. If all the illegals were to be deported and removed, they would no longer be counted for apportionment in the U.S. Census. If they were to all be removed, all of them, every last illegal, Dems would stand to lose 10 seats in the House, effectively giving Republicans a 27-seat advantage. DNI Tulsi Gabbard piling on this morning, saying accountability doesn't stop with just these 2 arrests, with just these 2 judges. She, too, as the top intel official in this country, is actively referring leakers to the DOJ, saying, you may not hear about the work we're doing, but all these Dem-aligned, left-aligned deep state operatives will be facing consequences, saying, I made it very clear to the Senate and to the American people that we will not allow this to continue. What you're seeing here is us carrying out the promise and the mandate the American people gave President Trump. Watch.
We talked about this. There's people within the department not selling secrets to Russia or China.
Well, we're keeping an eye out for that, too.
Absolutely. But undermining the policy of the administration, the first administration, working against you at the CIA, working against you. Now you're finding this out. So you found people who seem motivated to undermine the president.
Yeah. When we look at the examples that I've seen just in the short time that I've been in this position, what they consist of is essentially very selective leaks to their friends in the propaganda media that twist and manipulate intelligence directly to undermine the president's policies and his aggressive work to keep the American people safe.
So does that third person know that you're zeroing in on them?
I don't know if they know, but these are the first 3 investigations. We are referring to the Department of Justice. There are more that we are continuing to, investigations we're continuing
internally. Can you give me the nature of what they did, and will we know their names?
I can't get into detail now because of the criminal investigations that the FBI will be conducting. But in each one of these examples, I can tell you we know that the intent, based on the result that we've seen through their leaks to the Washington Post, the New York Times, and other outlets, Huffington Post and others, has been directly to undermine President Trump and the work that he's doing.
In another story, Trump's new Medicaid and Medicare administrator, Dr. Oz, updating the American people this morning, saying, my top priority is locating and cutting the mass fraud out of the system. And if you thought USAID was a problem, you ain't seen nothing yet. Some of the issues that we've been discovering will bring a shiver to you. That's what he said. Roll the tape.
My mission is to protect the most vulnerable, because I'll tell you, as a heart surgeon, the most expensive care is bad care. You got to pay the person who's doing a bad job. You got to pay someone else who's capable to fix the problem, and you got to pay for the complications. And there's so many things we can do to improve care in America. And folks watch this program are probably witnessing and pretty good testimonials out there about what has been done in the past that's not worked well. But here's the good news. We can empower beneficiaries, give you tools, and that's coming down the pike at you. We can make sure providers have better opportunities and incentivize them to do the right thing, because oftentimes in CMS we've unfortunately gotten folks to do things wrong because we pay them for doing things incorrectly. But right now my main focus, without any question, is to wage a war on fraud, waste, and abuse. Okay. Because that's what's required. All hands on deck. It's a massive issue. You know, hundreds of billions of dollars potentially out there. Not all of it's going to be collected at once, but we've got a war room right now focused very much on things that are going to really bother you. If you thought USAID was a problem, some of the issues that we are discovering, some of the things that CMS has been funding through Medicare and Medicaid and the exchanges will bring a little shiver to you.
USAID really was a drop in the bucket. The big waste is in the biopharma, medical, and defense industries. Medicaid, Medicare, the Social Security Administration, and the DOD, the Department of Defense. We haven't heard much yet out of DOJ on the Pentagon, but that's where the money is. That's where the waste is. And if they're going to hit their $1 to $2 trillion goal in cutting fraud, waste, and abuse by the end of year 1, they need to get moving in there.